Good morning. It is the Drake Toll Show on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Drake Toll with you from the Savannah Bananas organization, locked on Big 12, and right here on Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app, Sirius XM 375, the Drake Toll Show YouTube channel. You can call or text today's show, 310-840-4910. How would I give you that phone number before I tell you what today's show's about? I'm going to prompt you to call or text the show when you know not the topics you're walking into. Well, welcome to the sport that I've known and loved for my entire 4 weeks of the World Cup. Welcome to the revolutionary transformation of my brain towards soccer. And Spain, champions of the world. Can I tell you how this started? A few weeks ago, I decided on a whim. Cameron Stewart has joined the show a few times. You may have heard of. You've seen him on ESPN. He's broadcaster at the Banana Ball Championship League. We work together there. Good buddies. Calls and says, hey, man, I know you're in Boston. There's a match between Germany and Paraguay, and that might mean nothing to you. But how cool would it be to go watch the World Cup? So I did. We pack it in. We go. We see the World Cup. Penalty kicks. Paraguay upsets Germany, one of the great upsets. There were analysts who had Germany in the final this year, and I was hooked. As the tournament went on, I'd watch a little here, watch a little there, and then, the back of your mind, you're like, I can't wait for the Red River rivalry. I can't wait for when Texas and Oklahoma get together. It's going to be awesome come week 2 of the college football season when Oregon and Oklahoma State play. Oh, as fun as this whole soccer thing is, there's still that college football NFL side of your brain where you're just, that's what we're prone to love. And then what happens is I have the chance last Wednesday to go see Argentina play England, and I'm learning through this about the Falklands. I don't care. I don't know. There's no portion of me had this cachet stored up in my brain, the Falkland Islands and how it would affect this match. And during the anthem, the British national anthem, Argentina was chanting so loudly you couldn't hear a single word. God save who knows what, because I deafening. Why? Because they went to war, these two nations, in 1982. These two countries went to war. There are people sitting around me in this wall of fans from Argentina, whose great uncle, my neighbor, my teacher's husband, they died in a war in 1982 between Argentina and England over these little islands off the coast of Argentina called the Falklands, or if you ask the Argentines, Las Malvinas. That's what the World Cup is played for, is, hey, we went to war, so instead of killing each other, in the modern era, what if we just played soccer against one another and this acts as our version of war? That's what I got a front row seat to 5 days ago. And I've been hooked. Glued yesterday to a match that was 0-0 after we played full time, 90 minutes. And I'm seeing there's all these tweets and people are like, you bring soccer to North America and your final is so boring and 1-0 and it's going to kill the sport. No, as I've learned, as I've peeled back the onion of what soccer is, yesterday was incredible. At one point in time, Spain has shot the ball 20 times to Argentina's 0. And Spain wins the FIFA World Cup 1-0 over Lionel Messi and Argentina in extra time. We needed more than 90 minutes to settle this one. And so my father, I've told you about him a couple times, Philip Toll, Arkansas guy, Valonia, Arkansas, population 4,000. He decides to watch the World Cup final because I had gone to the Argentina and England match, and he wants to know what this mystique I keep talking about. The fact that I'm hooked on soccer, a sport that otherwise I wouldn't have cared about prior to the World Cup, and I've really gotten to dive into the intricacies of this game since May. He decides to watch yesterday, and he was blown away. It's like, wait a second. This kind of rocks. What have I been missing out on? And that was my same approach. It was as if I may, if you need this one, it was as if Alabama beat LSU in the national championship 17-7. Like, it doesn't scream blowout. It was a 10-point game. but LSU only crossed the 50-yard line once. That's the equivalent of Spain 1-0 over Argentina. And in soccer, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey, how we got there. And it was heavyweights. Argentina knocking off England. Spain walking in after a dominant win over France. And seeing the greatest to ever do it, Lionel Messi, step on the pitch for likely the final time in an international match. On the same day, in the same international match, where he plays Yamal, who he had bathed in 2007. I know everybody's talked about it, but it's still the craziest coincidence in sports history that Lionel Messi, young player Barcelona, draws the short stick to have to go do a photo shoot with a baby. There's a raffle. Some woman applies, and then she brings her son in, and Lionel Messi, photo shoot, bathing a child, 2007. Now, that child is Yamal, plays for Spain, played against Messi yesterday, World Cup final. You've heard the whole spiel. It's crazy. It's crazy, but I didn't think it was brought up that much by Fox, which brings me to my next point before I get to the dominance of Spain or Messi retiring. There's no reason to watch these matches anywhere other than Telemundo. There's no reason. Here's John Strong yesterday, his call on Fox of Spain and their go-ahead goal that would be the winner in the World Cup.
Chance to cross, hooks it in. Williams battling, knocks it down. It's free. It's a goal. It's Ferran Torres.
Which, to be fair, that's about as excited as we get for soccer or broadcast. Or not a bad call from John Strong, though. I thought the broadcast was forgettable, and I'm going somewhere with that. Andres Cantor on Telemundo. Here, try this on for size, because yesterday there was an option on my YouTube TV. You could either watch in English or Spanish, and I said, I'm going to watch in Spanish. Here's why.
Toque atrás, Porro la pone al área. ¡Ah! El cabezazo atrás. Queda el rebote. ¡Gol! Ferran. ¡Gol!
This continues for another 46 seconds. You can see the difference in the two and why I watched one in Spanish. I thought the broadcast overall yesterday was forgettable. We didn't mention the Yamal and Messi picture. We didn't. The pregame was clunky. They had both of the buffers this time. What's better than one buffer? Both of the buffers. They set the line. They did the whole thing. And then Tom Cruise walks out. And the first thing you hear Tom Cruise say is he looks into his microphone and goes, "Is it on? Is it on? Seriously, Tom? Come on." Just a complete botch. And they would continue. At one point, the gal broadcasting is, you can tell they're just filibustering until they can get down to the field for the ceremony where both anthems play. And at some point, she just runs out of words and says, well, now we're just awaiting the moments where the pregame on the field begins. They had no other coverage, just these random drone shots from 30,000 feet where you can see all of East Rutherford, New Jersey. Not to mention the halftime show, the FIFA halftime show. You know, the Argentines and the Spanish in the stands must have been so confused because they do soccer like that. The event for them is soccer. And what they got instead of that was this Americanized pop concert, but with BTS, who I'm being told is like this Asian version of the Backstreet Boys. Justin Bieber sang his 83rd most popular song when he walked out there, but Ted Lasso led him out. Again, I'm not sure where Tom Cruise comes into this, or Justin Bieber. I get Shakira. She did the Africa song, 15 years, not in a Paul Simon way, but in like her own Africa song way. And old Madonna. It didn't make any sense. The broadcast itself, I thought, was not a great example of soccer at the highest level. And what that leads to are the tweets. Oh, boring. Oh, I didn't like it. But if you knew what you're looking for, if you saw it, domination for Spain came from a defense that was unstoppable, immovable. Regulation, Spain outshot Argentina 15-0. Argentina stayed in the game because of the brilliance of Emiliano Martinez, their goalkeeper, who had 12 saves on the day. That's the most ever recorded in a World Cup final. Martinez was incredible. That kept Argentina in it, and Spain was incredibly frustrated themselves. How do we have 15 shots in regulation to 0 and nothing to show for it? Well, then, Argentina, after a double yellow, turns to a red. 2 yellows make a red in soccer, down to 10 men. It was the 117th minute that the entire match flipped, and Spain took a 1-0 lead off the leg of who? Ferran Torres? One of the coolest pieces of yesterday's match, the World Cup victory, something that means so much to all these nations, something that means war to a lot of these countries, is the story of Ferran Torres. Substitute for Spain, and now he's the MVP of the World Cup final. Those are typically reserved for players who start every game, massive minute totals, drive their team's tactical structure, get the ball to him from kickoff to the final whistle. But impact substitutes, the guy who comes into the match later on, like Sean Livingston off the bench, that guy's not winning MVP. Those guys don't accumulate volume of stats or moments. They're not the most valuable player. But Ferran Torres, 106th minute? His first goal in the 2026 World Cup? The dominance on the defensive side of the ball, the names like a Williams or a Yamal, those are the guys. Those are the engines for Spain and their offensive production. But Ferran Torres? Who'd have thought that guy comes off the bench for his country and in extra time wins it? I looked yesterday at the time of the Torres goal just to see. I'm not familiar with Ferran Torres' game personally, so I was surprised to see he has 8.1 million followers on Instagram. Just to do this experiment, I checked again 46 seconds ago. 9.1 million. The guy gained 1 million followers in the span of 18 hours, less than that, after he played hero for his nation. The same guy that at a club level, FC Barcelona, they've been trying to get rid of him, get rid of his money. They brought in Marcus Rashford, right? You may not know these names, but Torres has become even more of a rotational asset, a rotational player. And now he was the moment. He was the man that delivered Spain their second title in the World Cup. And on the other side, 39-year-old Lionel Messi is done. That's it. Curtain call. At the end of the broadcast, something along the lines of "the king is dead." It's like, whoa, this is intense. Don't know if we had to say that. But Messi, the physical toll of international competition, 120-minute match. You saw an example of it yesterday. By the time the next World Cup comes around, he'll be 43 years old. Even the Copa America in 2028, he'll be 41. This is it. An emotional Lionel Messi. Still the greatest of all time, though Kylian Mbappe, who's 27 years old, has 3 more World Cups in his back pocket. That Kylian Mbappe has passed Lionel Messi for career World Cup goals. Mbappe could certainly finish as the greatest to ever do it in this sport when he retires in 10, 12, 13 years. But right now, still Lionel Messi, the greatest of all time, has played his last. His final match internationally being the World Cup final at MetLife Stadium. carrying the weight of his nation, having won it in 2022. Consecutive Copa America trophies. He has nothing left to prove on the international stage. And at 39 years old, we're still, you saw it in the match against England last Wednesday, he's the guy you get the ball to. No doubt. That's still the role Lionel Messi, the hero, the legend, the czar, played in the World Cup this year. But there comes a time. There comes a time where the star's life has played out, and on the pitch, that is the case for Lionel Messi. Now what? Broadcast booth? Now what? Coaching? That speculation can begin because it's not soccer. The football career of the greatest to ever do it on an international stage is over. Now, he'll have the MLS. If you want to watch Messi play it, that's not all over yet. He's got the league stuff. But Copa America, FIFA World Cup, it's done. And it ends at the hands of Spain. 1-0, Argentina falls, and Spain, World Cup champions. When we come back, well, how have we gone this far to the show and not talked about LeBron James' free agency? Now Adam Silver says it's going to impact the schedule release and the NBA needs LeBron to decide now. What is that supposed to mean? This is Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. This is the Drake Toll Show.
Preseason games start in just a few weeks, kicking off with the Hall of Fame game from Canton, Panthers, Cardinals, and we've got the game from your home of the NFL. Westwood One Sports.
Will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes.
Generals gathered in their masses, just like witches at black masses. Evil minds that plot destruction, sorcerer of death's construction. In the fields of bodies burning.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30
as the
seconds.
war machine keeps turning. Death and hatred to mankind, poisoning their brainwashed minds. Oh, Lord, yeah.
begin in 30 seconds.
Now in darkness, world stops turning. Ashes where the body's burning. No more war pigs have the power. And as God has struck the hour, day of judgment, God is calling. Underneath the war pigs crawling.
We're going to get drunk before the game, we're going to get drunk during the game, and then we're going to get drunk after the game.
I'm excited!
Yeah, baby!
It is the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Drake Toll with you from the Savannah Bananas organization, Locked On Big 12. Laura Jimenez runs the board. Stu Kovacs in to produce this week. And you can listen to the entirety of the show on the Westwood One Sports app, the Drake Toll Show YouTube channel, and Sirius XM 375. Good morning. You woke up today in Anna, Texas, and you are excited to go teach at the high school, home of the Coyotes. Good to see you. Seth Parr, still the head football coach, I believe, won a state championship in 2024, if I remember correctly. You woke up this morning and thought, I don't really love soccer. That's okay. You didn't watch it yesterday. That's okay. Instead, you were glued to golf, and plenty to be excited about in the golf world. What a win at the Open for Ryan Fox. Wins his first major of his career and beats out Cam Young, Sam Burns. Scotty Scheffler was in the mix. Gosh, kind of story of the year. Scheffler's up there in the mix around. And it's been, is he still dominant? World number one, Scotty Scheffler? Sure. Is he winning tournaments? No. Oh, scary. But it made it for an interesting final. Tommy Fleetwood in there. I had a lot of fun watching golf this weekend. Maybe you did too. Maybe you watched the NBA as Summer League comes to a close. Maybe you, instead of being glued to soccer, were glued to the Yankees and the Dodgers. Yankees getting a win against L.A. Or maybe it was all World Cup all day yesterday for you, talking Messi and Messi's career and what he means to the sport, if it's his last international tournament. Before we get to LeBron James and his current decision, his next location, that is something I'd like to tie a bow on, the career of Lionel Messi, his international career. Because Alexi Lalas yesterday on the broadcast said that Messi, in order to be what he's become, in order to get here, needed Ronaldo. Take a listen.
You can boo Ronaldo all you want out there, because I know I heard you out there, but there is no Messi without Ronaldo, all right? They went back and forth. They're volleying back and forth, all right? And sometimes, all right, heroes need villains. Sometimes you need a foil, all right? Right, my friend? It's important at times. Right. It's important at times.
I mean, sure, right? You've got somebody to root against, right? Is there a bird if there's not magic or vice versa? It elevates it. But I don't know, Alexi Lalas. You are the one who's on the desk to say the controversial things. I'm not sure if Messi necessarily needed Ronaldo for 33 goal contributions in 34 World Cup matches. That's the record. I don't know if he needed Ronaldo to be now the second leading goal scorer in FIFA World Cup history after Kylian Mbappe just overtook him thanks to that 6-4 match against England. The most assists in World Cup history. He's the only player to win the Golden Ball twice, tournament's best player those respective years. Most man-of-the-match performances in World Cup history, 14. I don't think you needed Ronaldo for those. Argentina's all-time leading goal scorer, most capped player, 207 international appearances, winning the Copa America twice, recently, I just don't. I don't know. I don't know. The legacy of Lionel Messi on the international stage is cemented. Did it need Ronaldo? Those numbers didn't. And Messi finishes as the greatest of all time. You know, there could be a GOAT among us in basketball, still playing today. That greatest of all time, the greatest to ever do it, number one. A reason that's not LeBron James for many people is because he doesn't have that Jordan factor of Michael Jordan, the Chicago Bull, Magic Johnson, the LA Laker, Larry Bird, the Boston Celtic. A lot of these stars, Steph Curry, the Golden State Warrior, have built their identity around a team, around a franchise, an organization. Then you have LeBron James, the Laker. Nah, it doesn't feel right. LeBron James, the Miami Heat. No. LeBron James, the Cav. Well, kind of, but also didn't he? LeBron's legacy isn't tarnished, but it's skewed. It's warped a bit. How you remember LeBron James and think of LeBron James, who is a year away from doing the same thing Lionel Messi is doing and hanging things up. That LeBron James, who is the most significant free agent in the NBA, yet again, is a guy who now has to define, who has to decide what his legacy is. And reports indicate that James is in the final stages of his decision-making process. LeBron James would probably tell you he is in the final stages of the decision-making process, saying that I'm close to a decision. I'm going to make a decision. Don't worry, like I'm getting there. It's interesting. Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA, his thoughts on this are candid. Direct quote: "We have to finish up the schedule, and where LeBron plays affects the schedule. It will influence how we set the schedule." Now, this sent a lot of NBA fans into a tizzy. They got confused and upset, and the NBA's bending over backwards for LeBron James. Of course, the NBA's rigged for LeBron. No, but no, it makes sense. Opening week, Christmas, Silver included. The commissioner's saying, I need LeBron to make a decision. That all makes sense. That's just good marketing. We want to ensure whatever team LeBron James is on is going to play during our marquee slots, knowing that a retirement tour, a farewell tour, a final season of LeBron James is going to be 2 words: must-see TV. Thank you, Charles Barkley. And now LeBron's decision, closer than it was a week ago, closer than it was 2 weeks ago, is still awaited by everyone in the NBA. Come on, just give me a second, guys. In the next few days, and insiders still, come on, give it just a little bit. It's on the way. Don't worry. Every insider has made it clear. I've talked to LeBron James' camp. I've talked to his people. I've talked to LeBron, and a decision is coming soon. And the pool of interested teams seems to have fluctuated, moving from could it be Minnesota? Is it assuredly the Cleveland Cavaliers? What if the Boston Celtics are included? What about the New York Knicks? This revolving door of teams that we've thrown out, down to the San Antonio Spurs, pairing them with Victor Wembanyama. But it seems more and more clear. Cleveland, Golden State, Miami. Really, Cleveland and Golden State seem to be the two, from my perspective, that have outshone everyone else. Cleveland, frontrunner, sentimental favorite. Let's go home. Let's finish this thing back home. Now, can you contend there? Ooh, no. Can you compete there? Yes. So what LeBron has to decide on, and surely in these last 2 weeks it's been at the forefront of the conversation, are his commitments to championship habits. High-level competitive culture. Do I need to go somewhere that wants to win the whole damn thing? Family. All right. Where earlier, proximity to family and being back home, that was a big part of this conversation. Is that the case for LeBron wanting to go back to Cleveland? Or is it about playing with your buddies? Is it about feeling good again? Robert Earl Keane. And going to Golden State, where the old man Golden State Warriors could play for 6th seed, right? A piece of that whole, a piece of this whole deal is LeBron not being the star in Cleveland. We just went max contract on Donovan Mitchell. LeBron not being the star in Miami. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Bam Adebayo. Him not being the star in Philadelphia. Joel Embiid still gets to have that. Jaylen Brown takes a lot of that attention. Not being the star, Anthony Edwards in Minnesota. LeBron's not the star for any of those teams, any of those markets. He's LeBron James, yes, but you just saw an example of this with the LA Lakers. Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic rose to those roles where everyone's watching them as either a novelty, if you're blown away by this small-town Arkansas kid in Reeves who's overtaken LeBron James on his own roster, if you're blown away by the storyline surrounding Luka Doncic, whatever it was, those guys were passing up LeBron James for headlines in Los Angeles. If LeBron wants to be the dude, if LeBron wants to be a guy, if he wants to go to a place that doesn't deserve to win a championship right now, it's not ready to win a championship, and still somehow pull one out, it's Golden State. It's Golden State. Because Steph's too old to still be, we're a one-trick organization. We got that guy. That's the three-point shooting guy. Nope, too old for that. It's not Draymond Green's team. Not the podcaster, broadcaster, Draymond Green. No, he's too old for that. You don't have a Donovan Mitchell. You don't have an Anthony Edwards that take the spotlight completely away from you. Instead, it feels more like a big three, like a true, like even keel, because they're all so damn old. LeBron James, Draymond Green, Steph Curry. And again, I don't think that team is a contender. But are they a competitor? Yeah. And by virtue of the fact that that team is not a contender, if LeBron James is to win an NBA title with the Golden State Warriors, well, then that just says that LeBron James has wrapped up his legacy in the perfect way. Insiders are clear. He's near the end of the decision-making process. LeBron is clear. I'm near the end of making my decision, and it will come within the next few days. Rich Paul, his agent, has snuck out the Cleveland Cavaliers, Miami Heat, the 76ers, the Warriors, the Timberwolves. And those teams, they've given their cases. All of that is concluded. Court is over. It's up to a jury of our peer, that peer being LeBron James, where he's to go next. I'm waiting on it. You're waiting on it. The commissioner of the NBA, Adam Silver, is waiting on it to make next year's schedule. James himself has bought time by saying this is, quote, a big decision for himself and his family as he prepares for what will likely be his final NBA season. If he wants to do it, if he wants to do it correctly, if he wants to do it in a way that salvages legacy or puts legacy at the forefront, in a way where we look back and say, you know what, LeBron James ended the right way, Golden State is the location. Golden State's the opportunity for LeBron James to not turn it around. He doesn't have a tarnished career, he needs to revive, but to win a title and us look and say, yep, even when he was the old dog, he could still get it done. When we come back, we'll give you our biggest losers of the day. Sponsored by Progressive Commercial Insurance. Protecting small businesses with affordable coverage options. Quote today at progressivecommercial.com. Biggest losers of the day coming up. This is the Drake Toll Show.
It's a big week for NFL fans. Training camps are kicking off. The Panthers and Cardinals get things started Wednesday. Then it's the Pats, Seahawks, Bucks on Friday, followed by the Rams and Niners on Saturday. The pigskin is flying, and we're here for it. Westwood One Sports.
laughing at the joke, just for saying of the bargain what any sales girl already knows. Most of us old men die at the firing line, just waiting for our number to be called. I guess time just makes fools of us all. Now the king regales his stepson when he's loaded as a gun. Says a real man is like a country, you need a map to find your one. Now I do you suppose you must approach the throne with its back up against the wall. I guess time just makes fools of us all. Minds of my generation, glad they conscripted in the war of defending any Goliath that would deign darken the door. Now with your genius for picking battles, it's no wonder every helmet is too small. I guess time just makes fools of us all. I guess time just makes fools of us all. My drink is watered down, the champ is on his knees. He lost the rematch, he lost the comeback, he lost for charity, but that's the job. It's what gets the asses in the hall. They came for a beating, and he came to brawl. Notice that of all the young gods I have known, yours is easily the least famous to turn down the cover of a Rolling Stone. Lily white faces, so familiar and yet impossible to recall. I guess time just makes fools of us all.
At the Tone, the broadcast begins 1 minute.
After a millennia of good times, God said, hey now, let's have a dream where we raise the stakes a little. Come on, let's make things interesting. Parachute into the Anthropocene, an amnesiac, a himbo Kendall. I guess time does make fools of us all.
It is the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Stu Kovacs in this week to produce. Laura Jimenez runs the board. Drake Toll with you. The Spain insert mascot here. World Cup champions 1-0 yesterday against Argentina in a match that some of you called boring. Personally, I thought it was electric. And I know, I get it. You watch an entire game just for one thing to happen, but the game within the game, and as slowly but surely more people in the United States start to understand soccer, the cooler it got. And the more that I understood that this was war for a lot of these countries. This means so much more than sport for an Argentina who plays England, 5 days ago and had been at war with England 40 years ago. And they just remember that. That's just the forefront of their competition. It's what the World Cup is. It's what it does. It's what it brings together. And Spain takes it home, winning 2026, hosted in North America, that brought nations together over the World Cup. I thought that this weekend in the golf sphere was spectacular. If it wasn't the World Cup you were glued to, how about an improbable win for Ryan Fox, who takes his first major trophy? Royal Birkdale, 10 under for the tournament. And Fox takes home a victory at the Open. Maybe it's LeBron James you tracked all weekend, or the MLB it's back from the All-Star break that you watched, or Summer League, WNBA, Cam Scatteroo doing backflips. Whatever it was, sports are so back. We don't need college. Yes, we do need college football, and it's on the way. But there was still so much over the course of this weekend to get to today. That's exactly what we're doing with our biggest losers of the day. Biggest loser, number one. Whoever made this Nashville Predators shirt. This is a tweet from the Nashville Predators after they released a shirt that says, quote, Preds in the community. Stu Kovacs produces. Stu, at what point do we reckon with the fact there is a team called the Predators in our major sports realm?
Yeah, I feel like that's something that isn't really thought of that way, and then now you see the shirt, like, okay, yeah, that's... I don't know if I love
Watch
the name.
out for the Preds in the community. This one did not take off, the Nashville Predators. Biggest losers of the day today. Trae Young? Here is audio of Trae Young trying to rip a Jalen Brunson Fanatics jersey at Fanatics Fest. He just isn't strong enough to rip it.
Brunson jersey. Wait a second. Is he going to rip this asunder? Are you going to step on it? Is he going to rip this asunder? He's ripping it asunder. He's ripping it asunder.
Here's the problem.
Can't get through it.
You can't do it.
He can't do it. You step on it. He doesn't have good leverage.
Yeah. The thing is, if you know you're doing this ahead of time, you have to cut.
You got to pre-rip it.
Yeah, so you go to a Fanatics event with Fanatics gear, and you, Trae Young, have a jersey of Jalen Brunson, who just won the Finals MVP and the NBA title for the New York Knicks. And in like total loser mentality, you try to rip the Fanatics jersey again at an event promoting Fanatics, and you're not strong enough to do so. You can't do so. He also was quoted as saying, "If I was 6'8", I feel like I would be the best player to ever play this game just because of my mentality and the way I play. If I was dating Sydney Sweeney, I would be dating Sydney Sweeney. If I was 7'4", maybe I'd be Victor Wembanyama. I've just got that mentality. I have that dog in me." Thank you, Trae Young, for telling us if you were 6'8", you'd be the best player in the league. I don't believe that. Biggest loser of the day. All of us for not truly understanding the intricacies of soccer. But one man is here to save the day. Here is the president on Lionel Messi.
Argentina, I watched that pass that Messi made, and not knowing as much as the people in this room, but I know about sports and I know about a little bit about soccer, but I watched Messi and he was well guarded, right? Well guarded. And all of a sudden, he's standing on the right. Do you understand what I'm talking about? I don't know if anybody I just noticed it. Nobody talked about it. I just noticed it. I said, he's so well guarded by a great player. And then he moved to the right, and the other player was just standing there. And he had plenty of time. He kicked it. It was within, I would say, a quarter of an inch of being perfect. And that was the end of the game. It was brilliant.
Now that Zlatan has announced his retirement from TV, we found our guy. We have our analyst. Nobody else saw it. Nobody else was talking about it. Trump saw it. Lionel Messi drove his team to victory. That was in the match against England last Wednesday, but fell 1-0 to Spain in the World Cup. Biggest loser of the day, Tom Brady. And I don't understand what is happening in the Brady camp, but now he is flipping the bird to Jake Paul at the World Cup final. He slapped Jake Paul over the weekend, and all of this boils down to Michael Rubin. WWE, these big stunts, these public stunts. Let's make Tom Brady look like a D-bag alongside Jake Paul, Logan Paul, all the Paul brothers, whatever they're doing, and somehow tarnish the good name of the greatest quarterback in National Football League history. That's what's happening. You have him doing fake stunts like flipping guys off in the stands at the World Cup or slapping the Paul brothers. It's 2026, man. Tom Brady retires, has a great gig with Fox, and instead of just meeting the stoicism of being the GOAT who's retired, Brady is doing random public stunts to stay relevant, to make money. What do you need? What is the goal of this? 7-time Super Bowl champion, Hall of Famer, greatest quarterback ever, who earned $350 million on the field. Oh, and now you get chin filler and slap the Paul brothers. Come on, Tom. Biggest loser of the day, Matt Miller. He says he can't remember up to 10 minutes before his accident. What? This is the same Matt Miller who ran 91 fantasy football leagues last year. Some scouting classes, some raffles, and Miller had access to an estimated $100,000 based on these fantasy leagues. Hey, guys, I'm Matt Miller from ESPN, hosting a fantasy league. If you guys want to be in it, you guys can do that. I'll give advice and stuff. You'll buy in $25. Buy in for this one's $50, $100. Yeah, but end of the year, first place is going to get the big prize, and you get access to me, Matt Miller. Miller, according to ESPN, would spam league chats with raffles where league mates could win cash, Yeti merchandise, jerseys, Madden video games. I'll announce the winners later. Anyone with a claim to winnings should contact him, he says, right now. Because a Reddit thread began earlier this year saying, anybody else had a problem with Matt Miller just not paying you or sending you your raffle prizes? Has ESPN's Matt Miller possibly scammed you? In the wake of that Reddit thread, around a month ago, Miller just drove his Ford Bronco head-on into an 18-wheeler. His arm was amputated in the aftermath of this, and now everyone's questioning, who the hell is this guy, and what has he been doing in his mom's basement? Created scholarships for non-white people. Those were not delivered upon. The 417 Foundation, created by Matt in 2018, his foundation. But its charitable status rejected for not filing registration reports. So it's registered as a business. That's not a foundation. It's not a nonprofit, Matt. What? Miller, on the day of his crash, was sending out messages to different league winners, promising the payout's coming. I know the Super Bowl ended and fantasy ended a few months ago, but I promise. And in the middle of the afternoon, head on, in traffic, semi-truck. The 28-year-old truck driver swerved just a bit, saving Matt's life, but again, his arm is amputated. Miller has gone on to say again, doesn't remember anything up to 10 minutes before the accident, but remembers he wasn't on his phone, wasn't distracted, but everything else is kind of fuzzy on this whole thing. Huh. So there's 91 fantasy leagues. All of these promises. Matt Miller is this notable good guy who's donating and benefiting charity. Now is saying that because it's an active investigation, he's not responding and trying to keep things close to the vest. Now, Miller said the number of $100,000 was not accurate. That's his quote. It, quote, is not seem accurate, but could not verify. Doesn't have access to all these sleeper accounts, these fantasy leagues. Sent an email to The Athletic. Said that he can't say much. Active investigation. But he said he's tried reaching out to all the winners from last season to make sure they've been paid. That his direct messages on social media, they're open for the winners to contact him. He's got limited access to his original email account. That sounds convenient. That when you need to start paying people this $100,000 you could very well owe, that, I can't get into my old email, sorry. I'm having trouble authenticating the winners, sorry. But please, reach out. I'll make it better. Sounds like scam. Sounds like scandal for Matt Miller from ESPN. And the Missouri Attorney General is so perturbed by this. They are looking into it actively and possibly taking action against Matt Miller, the ESPN employee who may or may not have scammed hundreds of people out of their money through fantasy football leagues. Ah! Why didn't I think of this one? Genius. I'll have hundreds of people sign up for fantasy leagues. I'll take all their money and then just hope they never want to pay out for the winnings. That's what Matt Miller did, allegedly. And the investigation's ongoing. When we come back, we'll give you our obituaries. Who died today? The president's relationship with FIFA? That one might be out the window. Or the president's relationship with Argentina? And Brandon Ayuk, what? Big dog, at some point you have got to stop. Please, you're not going to D.C. Stu Kovacs in to produce this week. Laura Jimenez runs the board. It is Westwood One Sports. It's the Westwood One Sports app, and this is the Drake Toll Show.
This is Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. There's a dream that strings the road with broken glass for us to hold. And I cut so far before I had to say, please, please tell me now. Is there something I should know? Is there something I should At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. The broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. Tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. The Tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Please, please tell me now. Can you see what's missing now? Can you see so much right now? Everything's please tell me now. Please, please tell me now. Stations, this is your final time check. At the Tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds. Please, please tell me now. Please, please tell me now.
Drake Toll Show. Good morning. Laura Jimenez runs the board. Stu Kovacs in to produce this week. It's the Drake Toll Show. Drake Toll with you from the Savannah Bananas organization, Locked On Big 12. You can listen to the entirety of the show on the Drake Toll Show YouTube channel, the Westwood One Sports app, Sirius XM 375. The World Cup is over. Spain won, Argentina 0. Spain gets it done off the back of Ferran Torres. Yeah, man. The guy who plays for FC Barcelona, they've wanted to kind of offload his contract, save some money. He's more of a substitute on their end, a rotational player. He's subbed in by Spain, and then bang, his first goal of the World Cup, wins the World Cup for his nation. I went to the Argentina and England match on Wednesday in Atlanta and was in the wall of Argentines who are just jumping up and down, chanting the whole day. It's the most electric, aggressive, impressive, impeccable fan base in the world. In the world. I've seen the NFL at the highest level. I've seen college football at the highest level, whether it's national championships or a Saturday in the SEC. And there's nothing that compares to what Argentina is. There's nothing that compares to what the World Cup gives you, what the World Cup brings. I was talking to a buddy, Jake. And dude's from small town islands of southeast Georgia, and went to the World Cup match on Wednesday as well in Atlanta. He's like, man, I tell you what, I've been to a lot of them Dogs games. Big Georgia Bulldogs fan. And he said he had no comparison for what he saw in the World Cup. And now it's over. And Lionel Messi may have played his final international match. Very well has played his final international match after the loss in the World Cup final. But he got it done in 2022. Couple of wins, the Copa America's last couple of opportunities Messi still retires as the greatest of all time, the greatest to do it on the international stage, especially. What a weekend it was in the World Cup. 10 goals? That was your first, if that was your first time watching soccer, and you got 6-4, England versus France in there. 10 goals combined. Electric in its own right. But in a match where Argentina had one shot, Spain was that dominant defensively. While some called it boring, I thought ultimately the World Cup was a display, a masterclass of two elite soccer teams, two elite soccer countries. And the United States can only hope to find some semblance of success in comparison to an event like this, teams like this in the future in this sport specifically. It's the 7 o'clock hour on the East Coast, 7:02 and 58 seconds. And time for today's obituaries. Oh, yeah. Dead today. Oh. Gianni Infantino's relationship with FIFA? Well, Trump says that it would not be a very good day for Infantino if Argentina lost. Take a listen.
But the official definition of FIFA is FIFA is the official happiness provider to humanity since 120 years. So we are providing joy and happiness. Unless the team loses, of course.
Unless Argentina loses. Come on. Funny joke, right, guys? It felt like it, and internationally, fans were upset that Argentina got preferential treatment over the course of the World Cup, namely dating back to their match against Egypt. Down 2-0, Argentina rallied and won it. And then most of the world said, no, rigged. FIFA just needs Lionel Messi and Argentina to win. Well, they did not in the final, falling 1-0 to Spain. Dead today, Brandon Ayuk's NFL career. He is still doing it. Brandon Ayuk, who had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons with the 49ers a couple of years ago, was one of the promising young stars. I mean, he became a name in the National Football League. People knew Brandon Ayuk. Helped the 49ers to postseason success and looked like a long-term option as a wide receiver 2 in the league, a low-end wide receiver 1. And now he has gone on a tirade in the last month on his Instagram story, posts and videos, saying that he wants into D.C. He wants to be a commander. Move over, Daniels. Move over, D.C. It's my city now. He put on his Instagram story this weekend. The NFL Players Association said, hey, Brandon Ayuk, we're going to take $30 million out of your contract. That was the 49ers. We're going to take $30 million out of your contract. Ayuk said, okay. The NFLPA said, do you want to appeal it, try to get it back? Ayuk says, no, I'm going to D.C. NFLPA was like, all right, well, we're going to start a smear campaign to tarnish your name? That's Ayuk's theory. And he said, okay, you can do whatever you want. I'm going to D.C., and the Players Association was silent. He's just gone insane. Now he thinks the Players Association is smearing his name publicly on purpose, and he just doesn't care because he's so convinced he'll be a member of the Commanders. I don't think that's how that works. I don't think you can just will yourself to another franchise. Huh. Odd one. Dead today. J.J. Watt's ego. Never had it. Never even had one, man. Was never even a thing. Wasn't even born. Douglas Sandstorm tweets, not proud of it. Man enough to say it. I had breakfast this morning in Greenwich Village in New York City, and a man sat next to me on his own. Somebody I idolized growing up. But out of respect, like a scared little girl, I didn't even ask for a picture. Not proud of it. Man enough to say it. Have a great day in New York, J.J. Watt. Watt would see this tweet from Douglas Sandstorm, reach out to Douglas and say, hey, where are you? I'll come find you. Bought him a Guinness, the local tavern. Douglas sat tight, and there he was, the GOAT. J.J. Watt showed up to the bar, Guinness in hand, and a picture of Watt and Douglas Sandstorm now graces Twitter, with Douglas saying, "I'll tell my kids about this story one day." From an embarrassed guy at a restaurant, scared to tweet it out, to meeting J.J. Watt. That's a good dude right there. Dead today, MLB teams using AI to call their pitches. Ugh, gross. Adam Ottavino says the Mets used AI to help actual competition. Take a listen.
Did you see the story on MLB banning the custom tab on the in-dugout iPad? Any thoughts? Yes, I knew about this for a while. The Mets were actually the main team that got cracked down on. They had an AI program that was very expensive, apparently, and they were bragging about it a little bit early on in the year. Some of the coaches that I know were talking about it from around the league, and they had basically an AI program helping them pick pitches, and I think some other stuff, but MLB got wind of it and nipped that right in the butt, so apparently they weren't the only team, but I knew about it from the Mets angle, which, they tried to throw some money at the situation. Steve ponied up for, I think this program, from what I heard, was several $100,000 to have.
That, if Ottavino's what he's saying is correct, and the Mets were paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for AI to call their pitches, Major League Baseball is making the right move here by ensuring teams do not do this. But holy Mets, Nugget Chef tweets, AI guiding a team to 16 games under 500 and the fourth worst run differential in the sport sounds exactly right. The AI Mets are not working. Dead today, the American League West. This happened Friday night, and it is as bad as it gets. Evan Grant tweets, "Good morning. The AL West was swept Friday by a composite score of 50-7. 50-7. Playing against mostly teams with below 500 records. What a beating. What a division. Welcome to the AL West in 2026. It's not good. It's still not good. It's not going to get good. The Rangers lead the division by half a game. The Seattle Mariners right behind them. The Rangers are the only team in the division above 500 as the Astros, Athletics, and Angels continue to flounder. Ugh, gross. Dead today. It's a part of our obituaries. The fastest mile of all time. Josh Kerr breaks the record. 3 minutes, 42 seconds with the fastest mile ever. The sub-4 minute was mind-boggling. This is just absurd. 18 seconds, sub-4 minutes for Josh Kerr, the new world record holder for the fastest mile by a human being. Those are our obituaries today. That is who is dead. It is time for the Quickie. Top 5 headlines in all of sports. Stu Kovacs produces. Stu Kovacs reads the headlines. Drake Toll has a minute to respond to each.
All right, Drake, I know we've been talking about it a lot this morning, but Spain, they won the FIFA World Cup with a 1-0 win over Argentina in extra time in what could be Lionel Messi's final international match.
Ferran Torres, baby. People weren't talking about him enough. It's me. I'm people. I didn't know. I didn't care. Why would anyone have had Ferran Torres at the top of their radar for the guy who would do the thing at the World Cup? He had the lone goal of the World Cup. Fantastic in his performance. And wins the whole thing for his nation. The same guy who's in a substitute role throughout the year. And in FC Barcelona, he's not really much of a dude. And Argentina, despite great effort in goal and playing as well as they could have, down to 10 men in extra time for the totality of extra time. They had their opportunities late. A couple of them could not deliver, and Lionel Messi goes out. Yep, final will very likely be his final international competition. He goes out with a loss in the World Cup final. Great tournament for North America. Great tournament for Spain. They were the best team, and now they've won 38 consecutive matches and continue to dominate on the world scale. Congrats.
All right, Dodgers two-way star Shohei Ohtani taking a break from pitching as he reportedly isn't expected to be back on the mound, quote, for some time.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we'll see Shohei pitch again until they ramp him up in September, getting him ready for the postseason. So the way the Dodgers have played it this year, and I think this makes sense for how Dave Roberts and company can play it or should play it, is not that we need to go win 128 games in the regular season. No, we just need to figure out how to beat the Brewers. We need to know confidently how to beat the Cubs. Let's ensure that we have a game plan against the Braves. How do we, as the Dodgers, make sure that when we get to the postseason, we know how to beat these teams? Whatever that means, throw stuff at the wall, hope it sticks, awesome. But if you're LA, 11 and a half games up in the NL West, the one thing you need to do is make the playoffs. From there, the strategy can change. From there, you can lock in. From there, you can adjust. But if you're the Dodgers, you just want to get to the postseason. That's the goal right now. Shohei could come back and pitch in September and get you ready for a postseason run. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the trajectory the Dodgers end up taking.
The Thunder trade all defensive wing Lou Dort to the Atlanta Hawks in a move to shred more payroll and position themselves under the second apron.
No more Lou Dort in OKC. The children are crying in the streets, Stu. They hate this. They loved Lou Dort in Oklahoma City, and now he's down to Atlanta. For Oklahoma City, this is just an opportunity to continually stack up on picks. Yes, Lou Dort, good. Incredible defense. One of the catalysts for Oklahoma City being at the forefront of the West specifically is a guy like Lou Dort. But they just can't afford to hold on to guys like Lou Dort or Isaiah Joe, Aaron Wiggins. And now they shed $200 million. $200 million this offseason with moves, trades. OKC, Sam Presti, made a financial decision. Will the kids like it? No. Will fans like it? No. Did you lose a fan favorite? Yes. Did you pick up a former number one overall pick? Also, yes, and no one's very excited about it. Ultimately, this trade is not going to be fans-facing or fans-first for the Thunder, but it saves you money, and that was the goal in this. So if that's all you wanted to do, you accomplished that.
Ryan Fox, he birdies the 72nd hole on Sunday to win the 154th Open Championship.
Electric Open! Further elevated the weekend. If I wasn't watching the World Cup, I was watching the Open, and Ryan Fox. Cameron Young was a star. Fox shot a 62 on Saturday. A 62 on Saturday. Just a day removed from Sam Burns shooting a 62. From Lucas Herbert shooting a 62. Dominance from Fox, from Young. Scheffler being back in the mix on a Sunday, shooting a 67 on a Sunday. That's always going to make this tournament more eventful. But it feels like it's kind of a broken record situation of we get to Sunday, and that's where Scheffler is in the mix, but not winning. That's where Scheffler is he's only a couple strokes back. He got up early on Sunday to watch it. Can he close it out? Can he do the thing he did in 2024 and 2025? Can he become this magical Scotty Scheffler who rallied? No. The answer has been no. Top 5 finish? Top 10 finish? Yeah. That's where Scheffler's been. Winning tournaments? No. And instead it's a guy like Ryan Fox, who you did not expect coming into a tournament like this to win. It's a guy like that putting his name at the top of a leaderboard at a major for the first time in his career. Congratulations to Ryan Fox. And a very fun Open in Royal Birkdale with Scheffler in the mix on Sunday.
All right, last one. Former Texas offensive lineman Cole Hudson files an age-based eligibility lawsuit against the NCAA, requesting an injunction to play the season after already playing 48 games with the Longhorns.
It's that dreaded I word. It's injunction. It's what all the college football players are looking for today. They want the injunctions. That's what Trinidad Chambliss got. It's what Brendan Sorsby got. And Sorsby would have played off of his if not for Ken Paxton, the Texas Attorney General, deciding ultimately to force the hand of the Big 12, come after the Big 12, and the conference had to act. Otherwise, the injunction word would have saved Sorsby. In the middle of all of that, whether it was Chambliss or Sorsby, heard a lot of UT fans, Stu. A lot of them saying college football is broken. We hate the system, the law is stepping in, the government stepping in. And now this injunction is going to benefit the University of Texas by having an offensive lineman come back for another year. Because why not, Stu? Just because I want to. And then the NCAA is stuck because some random judge in Bryan County is going to give an injunction and the kid's going to play. That's a minute. Thanks, Stu.
Thank you, Drake.
When we come back, it wasn't the players on the course that took the storylines at the Open. No. It was their verbiage, their rhetoric, their conversation off the course around one controversial name in sports, Bryson DeChambeau. He did a dirty thing, a naughty thing over the weekend, and Rory McIlroy absolutely despised it. Drama on the course. It's Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. That's when we come back, right here on the Drake Toll Show.
MLB is heating up. Time to find out who's for real and who will shape their lineup to be October contenders. Trade deadline is less than 2 weeks away. Westwood One Sports.
She's a rich girl, she don't try to hide it. Diamonds on the soles of her shoes. He's a poor boy, empty as a pocket, empty as a pocket with nothing to lose. Sing ta-na-na, ta-na-na-na. She got diamonds on the soles of her shoes.
At the tone, the
Ta-na-na,
broadcast will begin in 4 minutes and 30 seconds.
she got diamonds on the soles of her shoes. 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 Diamonds on the soles of her shoes.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes.
People say she's crazy, she got diamonds on the soles of her shoes. Well, that's one way to lose these walking blues. Diamonds on the soles of your shoes.
At the tone,
She was physically forgotten, but then she slipped into my pocket with my car keys. She said, you've taken me for granted because I pleased you. Wearing these diamonds. And I could say, ooh, as if everybody knows what I'm talking about. As if everybody here would know exactly what I was talking about. I'm talking about diamonds on the soles of her shoes.
The broadcast will begin in 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
She makes the sign of a teaspoon, he makes the sign of a wave. The poor boy changes clothes and he puts on aftershave to compensate for his ordinary shoes. She said, honey, take me dancing, but they ended up by sleeping in a doorway by the bodegas and the lights on over Broadway, wearing diamonds on the soles of their shoes. And I could say, ooh, and everybody here would know what I was talking about. I mean, everybody here would know exactly what I was talking about. I'm talking about diamonds
The broadcast will begin in 1 minute.
People say I'm crazy, I got diamonds on the soles of my shoes, yeah. Well, that's one way to lose these walking blues. Diamonds on the soles of my shoes.
Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
It is the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Drake Toll with you from the Savannah Bananas organization and Locked On Big 12. Ryan Fox wins the Open over the weekend. Spain knocks off Argentina. And in the quote given by the Fox broadcast, the king is dead, in reference to Lionel Messi, whose international career is very likely over following the loss. But he does wrap up his career as the greatest to ever do it. The same guy that was bathing the child he played against. Surely you've seen this and heard that all across national TV and sports radio. 2007, Lionel Messi's 20 years old, playing for Barcelona, draws the short end of the stick, has to go do this photo shoot event. All right, fine. Some lady locally draws the long end of the stick for a lottery to have her son, her child, her little baby, bathed by a player from Barcelona as part of this PR deal, this photo shoot. That child that Messi bathes grows up to be Yamal, the same player that Messi competed against in the World Cup final on Sunday. That's the greatest sports coincidence of all time. It's the greatest sports coincidence of all time. It doesn't get any crazier than that. We didn't talk about it enough on the Fox broadcast. Just for at the end, there were so many snafus in the middle of it too. At one point, the camera pans from Will Ferrell to Pharrell Williams. Hilarious, right? No mention of it on the broadcast. John Strong just didn't say anything. What do you from Will Ferrell to Pharrell Williams? That's awesome. Even John Strong confused Matt Damon for Brad Pitt. They showed Matt Damon. And Strong was like, look, Brad Pitt. Middle of the World Cup final on Fox with 1 billion people watching. Nice. And in the middle of all of that broadcast chaos was just a defensive masterclass from Spain in the 1-0 shutout victory. Glory for a country that wins its first since 2010 and its second overall. LeBron James tracker. Just every 20 minutes, update Twitter. Did he do it? Where's Shams? Did he do it? Come on, Shams. We there? Warriors? Cavs? Out of all the things to follow this weekend, whether it was the Fox win, the Spain win, LeBron James, the Dodgers and the Yankees, there was a storyline that dominated my feed that is a somewhat of a culmination of backlash and controversy and this ever-growing pressure cooker around Bryson DeChambeau and what he means to the world of sports, what he means to the world of golf, and whether it's a positive or a negative. The YouTuber, Bryson DeChambeau. At one point, he hit a putt over the weekend. One of the patrons yelled, "Put it on your YouTube channel." Just whiffed a putt. Put it on your YouTube channel. Bryson DeChambeau, 2026 Open Championship. It's having a hell of a start to it over the weekend. And then everything fell apart after he shot a second round 66. Put him in sole possession of second place and an opportunity with a couple of days to go to win the Open. But then he's assessed a 2-stroke penalty under Rule 8.1a. The officials had determined he inadvertently improved his intended swing area on hole 5. He did this by trampling tall grass, moving around his ball in the rough. Officials acknowledged the action was not intentional, but intent is irrelevant to Rule 8.1a. So the penalty took DeChambeau from 4 under 66 to a 2 under 68 for round 2. That moves him from second place, sole possession, 1 shot off the lead, to a tie for 5th place, 3 shots behind the lead. After the round's over, DeChambeau goes to a lengthy, heated discussion with the R&A rules officials, the disagreements captured by cameras and the broadcast. He's driven back to the 5th hole. He demonstrates his actions. They demonstrate them back to him. And it's alleged during the discussions, a frustrated Bryson DeChambeau asked officials to call U.S. President Donald Trump on his behalf. He pulled the Tiger Woods. Now, while some officials have clarified it was a joke, he was joking, he said it jokingly, the whole situation kind of blew up in the golf world. It was drama that went late Friday into Saturday. Brett Falkoff, DeChambeau's agent, indicated that he felt DeChambeau was unfairly penalized. Well, he was undecided whether he would withdraw from the tournament in protest. He thought about leaving the tournament altogether. Walk away from that kind of bag, sitting top 5 at the time. He confirmed he'd continue playing, but he was disappointed with the ruling, that it fired him up. On to the weekend. And then in came the debate from all of his friends. Friends is a strong word, actually, to use for the guys that walk the course with Bryson DeChambeau. As he began to excel in this tournament, and he's had a good year. DeChambeau's had a good year. Spotlight got more closely on him, and then in a controversial moment, he crashes out a bit, and it opens the door of opportunity for Rory and Scotty to jump in. Rory said that Bryson deserved the penalty, and this is what it is. Take a listen to McIlroy.
I think there's no doubt that he improved the line of his backswing. So, and again, it's like whether it was careless or whether it was intentional, I don't think it matters. Hopefully it was careless. But I think the 2-shot penalty was justified for sure.
All right, you deserved it. Good, Rory. Thank you. But, I just reference him as your friend. Is Bryson DeChambeau the guy who inadvertently or advertently made his shot? Is that guy, is he your friend? Is this a guy you like?
I won't pretend to be up here and defend Bryson. I'm not particularly fond of him. I think a lot of it's performative. I think a lot of it's for attention. And to hold the tournament hostage like that and have all of us, volunteers, players, everyone waiting on him to depart, I didn't feel like it was a great look.
Rory's pretty straight up. I don't like the guy. It's performative. I would go as far to say, this is me putting words in Rory's mouth, but there's no way they find Bryson DeChambeau good for the game. This kind of live golf, YouTube golf, look at me. He's the Logan Jake Paul of the golf world. It's the Paul brothers of the golf realm. He's the Savannah Bananas of the golf realm. I work for those guys. I'm not, there's a massive faction of people who love good, and they love Bryson DeChambeau, and they love the Paul brothers. They love the Savannah Bananas, and each of those have their own little quadrant. Each of those are different in their own respect. But my cup of tea is not Bryson DeChambeau making a mockery of the tournament, making a mockery of the weekend, crashing out over the weekend. That's not what I show up to watch golf for. When I go to a Savannah Bananas game, if you go to a Jake Paul fight, a Logan Paul fight, whatever the hell they're doing today, You know what you're getting. You know what you're paying for. You know what you're buying. When I expect to see the Open, I expect the prestige, the class. I expect the golf to shine through. When I watch the World Cup final, oh man, don't let me cook. When I watched the World Cup final, I didn't show up to see a halftime show, to see commercial breaks during a hydration break. Got to let the guys get water. It's hot out there, so that we can run 2.5 minutes of commercials and make more money. I don't show up to golf to watch YouTube. I don't show up to the World Cup to watch Justin Bieber. I like the sports side of this. And it sounds like that's what Rory's getting to. But also, a lot of golf is still, to this day, you self-police certain aspects of the sport. Like this, where Bryson's saying, man, I'm just walking through the grass. How are you going to penalize me? Rory, you've won back-to-back Masters. Is it time, this sport, the self-governance, is it gone too far?
Yeah, it's hard, right? Like he's every shot is on camera. There's a lot of guys that play this week and the shots aren't on camera, so you can say that that's unfair or whatever, or it might happen more than it does, but it's obviously impossible to police everyone, and that's why it is for the most part a self-policing game. But I think when there is obvious evidence like there was last night, then obviously that's a different story.
And Bryson self-policed, saying, I didn't do anything wrong. And the tournament came back and said, no, you did. Scottie Scheffler, world number one, the guy, the dude, the one who gets you up on a Sunday morning to watch the Open. Can Scheffler come back and win it? His whole approach was right there with Rory of like, I've got a lot of thoughts. I'd say them. I pretty obviously don't like Bryson. But Scheffler, honestly, in the end came back around and took the spotlight off of Bryson by saying it's so tough when the spotlight is on guys like Bryson.
All I can really say is I think maybe we need to be a little bit more strict in the way that we are policing guys, but it's a little bit of a balance because you got certain guys like a Bryson who every shot he hits is going to be shown on TV. And, when you have camera angles that are far away, things can look different than they do when you're right there.
Yeah, well, he has the world watching him, and he asked for that via his YouTube channel. Hit like and subscribe, and watch me play at the Open. Watch me crash out at the Open. Ryan Fox, 10 under for the weekend, wins it at Royal Birkdale. Takes home his first major, steals the title from Scottie Scheffler. Now when we come back, chaos in the college football realm? Maybe not chaos. But one coach claiming the ACC has better competition than the Big Ten, the same Big Ten that's won the last 3 national championships, and one Texas offensive lineman that wants to play another year at UT and is asking a judge to step in on his behalf. Of course he is. And we'll recap a World Cup finish for the ages for one man you've never heard of. It is Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. This is the Drake Toll Show.
Preseason games start in just a few weeks, kicking off with the Hall of Fame game from Canton, Panthers, Cardinals, and we've got the game from your home of the NFL, Westwood One Sports.
broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
They say I'm crazy, but I have a good time. I'm just looking for clues at the scene of the crime. Life's been good to me so far. My Maserati does 185.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes.
Now I don't drive. I have a limo right in the back. I lock the doors in case I'm attacked. I'm making records, my fans, they can't wait. They write me letters, tell me I'm great. So I got me an office, gold records on the wall.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds.
Maybe I'll fall. Lucky I'm sane after all I've been through. Everybody say it's cool. I can't complain, but sometimes I still do. Life's been good to me so far.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
It is the Drake Toll Show. Good morning. 7:41 and 53 seconds Eastern Time. Drake Toll with you from the Savannah Bananas organization, Locked On Big 12. Stu Kovacs produces this week. Laura Jimenez runs the board. And the World Cup is over. That means it's college football season. NFL, come on, dive in. You know, I keep a quad box. I've told you about this before. I keep a quad box on my television. and I watch major national networks do their morning sports coverage every day. So while our radio station's on, while you're listening to the radio driving to work, driving to class, driving wherever you want to drive, I've got TV stations pulled up. Just thinking, all right, we're talking today, you and I, about the World Cup. We're talking about golf. There is a sprinkle of the MLB, a couple mentions of the NBA Summer League, LeBron James. But I wonder, these TV stations, what are they talking about? These national networks. And of course, one of them pops up with a headline, "Will the Dallas Cowboys win the Super Bowl?" Great. Clockwork, man. The second that the largest international event that we have, it compares to the Olympics. The second it's over, we're jumping straight into, come on, give it to me. Show me Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl. And while I won't go that far, I will take you to football country. I'll tickle your football taste for a second on the gridiron with a claim that's just as crazy as the Dallas Cowboys being Super Bowl contenders in 2026. A claim that the ACC is better than the Big Ten. Pat Narduzzi has been the head coach of the Pittsburgh Panthers for 10 years now and had this to say about the two conferences.
Coming from Michigan State, spent 8 seasons there as a defensive coordinator, coming to Pitt in 2015. I said it then, I said it now. After about 2 years in the league, I said this conference is better. It's better than the Big Ten. It's got more skill. I just think, up and down the East Coast, I just think there's so many players in our area where in the Big Ten trying to get players up there, to come up north, and it's, now it's got a little West flavor to it. But I've said that for years, and I'm going to stick to my guns. And you look at our record. You look at our record in bowl games against, the SEC and the Big Ten. You look at our record, in the regular season. I mean, we don't have a losing record. We have a winning record against those teams.
Pat, what dog? Indiana, Fernando Mendoza, the Heisman Trophy winner? Oh, can I take you, can I interest you in a Maserati Marv, Ohio State Buckeyes? That dominant Michigan team that won the national championship over Washington? In a league where Clemson is down, where, oh my gosh, where Clemson and Florida State are down, and I just thought of this, where Duke won the title, your conference title. They were 7-5 going to the ACC championship, had lost to UConn, then won the conference title last year, Pat. That's better than the Big Ten. Whatever you are smoking, I'll have some. Then in further chaos, former Texas offensive lineman, I say former intentionally, Cole Hudson, is now filing a lawsuit against the NCAA. Why? He's requesting a judge, boom, to grant an injunction for his college football season. He's already played in 48 games, 23 of them starts for the University of Texas. And now Cole Hudson says, no, I don't. I want to go back. Can I stay in college, please? He has an opportunity if the judge in Bryan County, Tarrant County, McLennan County, wherever he wants to get this injunction, wherever he wants to go, if a judge says, you know what, fine, Cole Hudson can play more football for the University of Texas, then he'll just be able to. I mean, the SEC is not going to stop it. The NCAA can't stop it. And in the middle of July, Cole Hudson wants to sue the NCAA for a 5th year of eligibility. You are out of eligibility. But please, I don't understand why he's suing this late, too. Why July? College football is always full of storylines. And ahead of SEC Media Days, the exact same is true. Coming off of ACC Media Days where Pat Narduzzi was saying whatever he was saying, and going into the coaches across the country, speaking across the conference, speaking this week, we're going to get some all-timers. We got an all-time defensive performance yesterday in the World Cup where Spain knocked off Argentina 1-0. Let's take you back there for a moment before we get to our idiots of the day. And a man by the name of Ferran Torres. you probably don't know that name. You don't have much of a reason to know that name. See, I thought he was a bit more obscure than he is, but soccer dominates the world storylines, the world headlines. Those are all about soccer. And so when I looked up Ferran Torres, fully expecting this random guy who plays the Spanish national team to have 50,000 Instagram followers, at 8.1 million. Woke up today, 9.1 million. That's what happens when you're Ferran Torres. And in the World Cup, you walk in as a rotational substitute and win the match for your country. He's been a sub, not a starter. If you're looking at, man of the match, the guy who just gets the catalyst to win, it's not usually the random bench dude that walks in. Even an impact substitute, no matter how clutch they are, how clutch their goals, for them to be at the top of the sport, at the top of their country, doesn't happen. Till it did. 106th minute in the final. For a guy who had not scored a goal in the 2026 World Cup. In that moment, Ferran Torres became an international hero. A Spanish hero. The final goal. A decisive opportunity to write his name in the history books. You're looking at a squad of powerful names, a tournament of powerful names, whether it be a Messi or a Haaland, a Kane, a Bellingham, a Flo Balogun, a Yamal across the way for Spain. It wasn't any of those names. Those guys weren't the ones who ended it, who won it. When a team wins a deep, balanced roster, a great defensive performance, you don't expect this to be the guy. The dude who's been filtered out of his own team at FC Barcelona. Outside of international play, he's faced a crowded landscape in Barcelona. New guys like Marcus Rashford walking in. He's become a rotational asset for FC Barcelona. He's become a guy they're trying to offload his contract, unsure of his future. He's just there in the corner. And I likened this because my dad texted. It was like, why? We're talking about blowout. They're saying that Spain, they won in a blowout, but it was 1-0. What kind of blowout is that? Well, Dad, it's like if Alabama played Auburn tomorrow and won 17-7. That score doesn't scream blowout, but it screams dominant. You held Auburn to 7 points, and you really pushed them to the point they couldn't get anything done, to the point they were just hapless. That was the case yesterday for Spain versus Argentina. Emiliano Martinez, the goalkeeper for Argentina, 11 saves. And a masterful performance himself to keep Argentina in it. Faced a team across the way with all the big names. With favorite written across their back. Spain. But in this 17-7 Alabama victory, it wasn't A.J. McCarron or a Derrick Henry. It wasn't a Ryan Smith. It was the random obscure fullback, the third-string senior fullback, who finishes it and wins you the game in the rivalry contest, in the big match. And the guy who at FC Barcelona is an afterthought. A guy who the eyes of pundits and voters hasn't been at the forefront of soccer, becomes the most valuable player in the most valuable moment of the World Cup. Most of this tournament, relatively low minutes, nothing compared to the heavyweights, yet still, it's Torres, Ferran Torres, that wins it. Sends Lionel Messi home. 39 years old. Is that it? Is he done? It's got to be. It's got to be. Watching this guy run around in a 120-minute match, time to go. I saw him in person on Wednesday. And in that performance, where he was man of the match in a 2-1 win against England, he took over. Get the little guy, get Lionel Messi to the outside, and let him go to work. That's exactly what Messi did. And I got to watch what was very likely his last win. I mean, it has to. It's his last win of the World Cup. This is his final international competition. He's 39 years old. You can tell he doesn't have what he's still Messi, no doubt, but he doesn't have what he did. The world's catching up. Heck, he got passed by Kylian Mbappe, the 27-year-old Frenchman, for most goals in World Cup history, career goals. And Mbappe's only 27 years old. He'll make a case in a decade for greatest player to ever do it, Kylian Mbappe. But by the time the Copa America comes around in 2028, and Messi just got the last two of those, 41 years old, he doesn't have to do it, doesn't need to do it. 43 years old for the 2030 World Cup. Messi doesn't have to do it. He doesn't need to do it. The emotion he displayed after the final, watching him cry yesterday, Fox telling you the king is dead. I don't think Messi's coming back from this one. Because he doesn't need to. Trophy cabinet. It's complete. Copa America. World Cup title. He's won every MVP caliber award you can internationally. And the Argentine media called this the end. The end for Lionel Messi. And really it could be the beginning of Messi as Argentina's new leader. His opportunity to get into coaching, or his opportunity to get into broadcast, his opportunity to be around the game of soccer. You need that on the international scale. Now, he's not done. MLS, you can still watch Messi play for Miami. But his next steps for his international career begin now. Stu Kovacs produces this week. Laura Jimenez runs the board, 310-840-4910. You can call or text the show, 310-840-4910. When we come back, we'll give you our idiots of the day. It's Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. This is the Drake Toll Show.
This is Westwood One Sports.
It is the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Drake Toll with you from the Savannah Bananas organization and Locked On Big 12 right here on Westwood One Sports. What the hell's LeBron James going to do? Can he just do it already, please? Is it Cleveland? Is it Golden State? My hope is that it's Golden State. I think if it's Golden State, he can revive his legacy. And everybody is using the L word with LeBron. Everybody wants to talk legacy and what does it mean if he goes to Cleveland? What does it mean if he goes to Miami? How are we going to view him? Man, as tiring as that probably gets for some people, as upset as you might be, of like, oh, they're still talking LeBron James. Oh, they're still talking legacy. I mean, we're talking about one of the greatest to ever do it. How will you view him in 15 years? Your 12-year-old son thinks of LeBron James as an L.A. Laker. That should perturb you. That is a problem. LeBron James isn't a Laker. He's a Cav. Well, I mean, but he's not a Cav. He's more associated with the Heat. Well, not the Heat necessarily. He played 8 years with the Lakers. Got to, what do we do with that? What do we do with that? Larry Bird, the Celtics. Magic Johnson, the Lakers. Michael Jordan, the Bulls. Even though the Wizards thing happened, and it was weird, we all agree. But still, they all center around one thing, one team. Not that LeBron has to. But his legacy of bringing a title to every city he's played in is not one that we fully embrace. It's not the storyline we follow, that LeBron's legacy is, wow, couldn't have been more elite because he won, titles with four different stops or won titles with three organizations. None of that, no. What it would take is going to a place like Golden State, winning it with Steph, winning it with Draymond, carrying an old team that has no business being there to a championship. At that point, the legacy will be complete. The legacy is complete for the 2026 Spain national team, beating Argentina 1-0 in yesterday's World Cup final match, and it's over. Lionel Messi's international career is over. SEC Media Days begins this week. You'll hear some of the stupidest things, some of the worst stuff you've heard from coaches and commissioners, but it just drives the conversation. That will be a festival the rest of the week to hear what SEC coaches have to say after ACC coaches like Pat Narduzzi said that the ACC is better than the Big Ten. If we're getting those quotes out of the ACC, you got to imagine the Eli Drinkwitzes of the world. The Missouri head coach, Eli Drinkwitz, will step to the podium and say something. The Kalen DeBoer, Steve Sarkisian, those guys will give us something over the course of the rest of the week in Florida. In the meantime, 8 o'clock, 8:03 and 24 seconds Eastern time. And time for our Idiots of the Day.
Idiot of the Day.
Idiot of the Day number one, you, if you don't know about sports. Because if one man does, it's the President of the United States of America. Because when no one else saw it, Messi's match against England, the President was watching for one thing specifically. Watch the Messi guy get to the outside.
Argentina, I watched that pass that Messi made, and not knowing as much as the people in this room, but I know about sports and I know about a little bit about soccer, but I watched Messi and he was well guarded, right? Well guarded. And all of a sudden he's standing on the right. You understand what I'm talking about? I don't know if anybody, I just noticed it. Nobody talked about it. I just noticed it. I said, he's so well guarded by a great player. And then he moved to the right and the other player was just standing there. And he had plenty of time. He kicked it. It was within, I would say, a quarter of an inch of being perfect. And that was the end of the game. It was brilliant.
Nobody's talking about it. I noticed it. Nobody else is talking about it. Lionel Messi, 2 assists, and helps knock off England in the semifinal, but fell 1-0 in the final. Oh, idiot of the day. Could it be fake Southern accents? Remember the Brian Kelly family code switch that he did when he got the head coaching job at LSU, and America immediately realized, oh, this is really not going to work out, is it? No, it's not. Well, AOC took a trip to Memphis over the weekend and used a new voice that I'm not sure I've heard from her yet. Take a listen.
We cannot afford to leave Tennessee behind. We cannot afford to leave Kentucky behind, Alabama behind, Mississippi behind, Georgia behind, South Carolina behind.
Huh. It's a new little sass, new little wrinkle thrown in there from AOC. She said, come on, guys. Hanging out in Memphis. When in Memphis, right? When in Memphis. Thanks to the president and AOC for our first couple of Idiot of the Day presentations. Now, you've got to be an Idiot of the Day. If you doubted Jimothy the raccoon, if you didn't see this over the weekend, there is a raccoon, all four legs intact, but it has a spinal deficiency. This raccoon has taken Seattle by storm. Folks say that if you were to see it in the 1800s, this would be the thing of legends. You'd tell it to the local village and they wouldn't believe you, this deformed raccoon. But no, now the spinal deformity of the raccoon has gone viral, and Jimothy has become an American hero. Men, women, children, wherever you are in the world, if you can safely Google Jimothy the raccoon, it's a pretty good payoff. Stu Kovacs produces today. Stu, big fan of this raccoon on my end.
Yes. I mean, I feel like you have to be. How could you not be a fan of him? Like, it's an amazing story, an amazing comeback story, if you will, and I absolutely love it.
Yep. Jimothy's fought through a lot to get here. He's fought through a lot to get here.
Come back for all the raccoons, I guess.
It's a big day in the raccoon community, Laura, for Jimothy and his comrades. Idiot of the Day, Cam Scattaboo. This one's crazy. Remember Scattaboo, the guy who just obliterated his leg? Well, this weekend, he decided, it's July 20th, by the way. The NFL season begins in a month. They'll be playing preseason games in a couple of weeks. And Cam Scattaboo decided, you know what? I'm going to do a backflip. Everybody want me to do a backflip? I'm going to do a backflip. And then proceeded to not land it. Falls directly on his ass. This is the same guy who's going to play for John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh, one of these stricter, older, hey, nobody mess around. This is the ultimate messing around. Here's Cam Scattaboo on promising not to hurt himself.
I'm going to address the elephant. I will not hurt myself before the season. So what happened was, I don't know if you guys know WWE or not. Those floors are bouncy. So when I took off, I was midair like, holy cow, I'm not going to land this. I'm way too high. Landed, but it had too much cushion. It wasn't a stiff, firm ground. So I kind of like went back, safely landed, got back up, was good to go. So nothing came out from that. I'm perfectly fine. Nothing happened. We're good.
Love the applause to the audience. Love how supportive they are of Cam Scattaboo, who might be the idiot of the day. Who just overall every day Cam Scattaboo does one other. You're like, why is Cam Scattaboo in the corner eating crayons? Like, nobody asked that question. Just let him run. Cam run football hard. And that's the existence of Cam Scattaboo, the New York football giant. Idiot of the day, those who have doubted. Ferran Torres. A guy who took the soccer world by storm yesterday after being nobody. Ferran Torres, member of the Spanish national team, is a guy who started yesterday with 8 million followers on Instagram and now as well surpassed 9 million. Gaining over 1 million followers in 16 hours after yesterday. A guy who's been utilized as a substitute for the entirety of the World Cup. A guy who comes in maybe if you need him at the end of a match. Maybe. That guy scores the lone goal of the World Cup final and goes from impact substitute to most valuable player on the pitch. 106th minute. Spain's already had one called off. Would have another from Torres that's called off. for a guy who had not scored a single goal in the 2026 World Cup. He goes MVP caliber by putting his country on his back. Wildly frustrating match for Spain, by the way. They had cinched up Argentina entirely to the point where we get to 19 shots from Spain before Argentina has their first. At no point in regular time did Argentina have a shot in this game. It was a blowout, but was 0-0. Spain could not break through until Ferran Torres was the guy to do so. Not Yamal, no, Ferran Torres. It doesn't make any sense, the thing of legends. And now he'll go down as a legend in his country. Idiot of the day, Bryson DeChambeau. Over the weekend, complete and utter embarrassment for Bryson at the Open. And because he crashed out again. Bryson DeChambeau is the YouTube guy of golf. As good and these YouTube golf brands start to pop up, Bryson DeChambeau continues to grow his audience because kids want to watch YouTube. And they want to watch sports on YouTube. So they go see the Savannah Bananas. They go see Trevor Bauer. They go watch on YouTube Dude Perfect. And Bryson DeChambeau is in the middle of that. Then at the 2026 Open Championship over the weekend, on Friday, he shot a 66. Second round 66. Solo second place. But was assessed a two-stroke penalty under Rule 8.1a. Officials determined Bryson DeChambeau had, quote, inadvertently improved his swing area on the fifth hole. Trampling grass, moving the ball, and trying to get around the ball in the rough. Officials acknowledged the action was not intentional, but intent is irrelevant under Rule 8.1a. That penalty took DeChambeau from 4 under 66 to 2 under 68 for the round. Took him from sole possession of second place, one shot off the lead, to being tied for fifth place. 3 shots behind the lead. Following the round, as you can imagine, DeChambeau, animated, lengthy, crash out. R&A rules officials in the middle of it. That disagreement, captured by broadcast cameras, of course it was. And DeChambeau, driven back out to the fifth hole. He says, no, I didn't do, come on, I'll show you. They drive out there, the officials show him what happened, he shows them what happened. They're going back and forth, he's holding everyone and everything up. Now, reports have even alleged that during the discussions, DeChambeau was so frustrated he asked the officials to call the president, Donald Trump, on his behalf. And while some have gone on to call this a joke, he was joking, it was untimely. Situation created drama on Friday, and his agent, Brett Falkoff, said DeChambeau actually felt like he could withdraw from the tournament. He was so unfairly penalized that he was undecided on whether or not he could continue playing. But after midnight, DeChambeau confirmed on social media he would play, but he was disappointed, though fired up and ready to get on with the weekend. That incident, massive debate, and even had Scotty Scheffler saying he's a lot of things, but he's not a cheater. And Rory McIlroy, on the other hand, saying, I don't like him. It's pretty public, and Bryson DeChambeau's not my guy. Now, I mentioned earlier Trevor Bauer and the Savannah Bananas and Dude Perfect. If that's your cup of tea, that's the stuff you like, great, man. I work for the Savannah Bananas. But when I go to a Savannah Bananas game, I know exactly what I'm getting. When I open a Trevor Bauer YouTube video, I know exactly what I'm getting. When I go to the Open, I want to know what I'm getting, and I don't want it to be a sideshow. I don't want it to be Bryson DeChambeau, shades of what he did 2 or 3 years ago when he ran into that rope and freaked out. No, why is there a rope there? That's not what I'm looking for at my golf tournaments. A sideshow. And it's what it's become with Bryson DeChambeau, and it's the reason that Rory McIlroy went on a pretty level-headed rant over the weekend, and now Rory thinks he's the keeper of all things golf and that he is kind of the czar of this thing. He's not the face of golf. He's not the guy that has to speak on every issue. Rory can be that way sometimes, but Rory hit the nail on the head. I don't love the dude, and it takes away, it distracts from the game. And it did over the weekend. Bryson DeChambeau and his counterparts fall to an unlikely winner, taking home his first major of his career and describing it as surreal. Congratulations to Ryan Fox, winning it from the Netherlands, New Zealand, something like that. It's New Zealand. Taking home $3.2 million in the process, the score of 10 under, and dethroning Scotty Scheffler at the Open, Royal Birkdale. Those are our idiots of the day. When we come back, the World Cup has been won. It is over. And we'll be joined by Jeff Carlisle from ESPN to talk a boring final. Was it captivating, or was it exactly what the sport needed? It's Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. This is the Drake Toll Show.
It's a big week for NFL fans. Training camps are kicking off. The Panthers and Cardinals get things started Wednesday. Then it's the Pats, Seahawks, and Bucks on Friday, followed by the Rams and Niners on Saturday. The pigskin is flying, and we're here for it. Westwood One Sports.
It's getting to the point where I'm no fun anymore. I am sorry. Sometimes it hurts so badly I must cry out loud. I am lonely. I am yours. You are mine. You are what you are. You make it hard. Remember what we've said and done and felt about each other. Oh, babe, have mercy. Don't let the past remind us of what we are not now.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes.
I am yours, you are mine, you are what you are. You make it hard. Tearing yourself away from me now, you are free.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
This does not mean I don't love you. I do. That's forever. Yes, and for always. I am yours. You are mine. You are what you are. You make it hard. Something inside is telling me that I've got your secret. Are you still listening? Here is the lock and laughter, the key to your heart. And I love you. I am yours. You are mine. You are what you are. You make it hard.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
And you make it hard. And you make it hard. Friday evening, Sunday in the afternoon.
At the tone, the broadcast
What
will
have
begin
you
in 2
got
minutes.
to lose? Tuesday morning, please be gone. I'm tired of you. What have you got to lose?
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Listen to me, baby. It's my heart that's a something, it's a die, and that's what I have to lose. I've got an answer. I'm going to fly
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute.
What have I got to lose? Will you come see me Thursdays and Saturdays? Hey, hey, hey. What have you got to lose?
Final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
Drums keep pounding a rhythm to the brain.
It is the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Drake Toll with you from the Savannah Bananas organization, locked on Big 12 and right here on Westwood One Sports, the Drake Toll Show YouTube channel, Sirius XM 375. Now, Jeff Carlisle of ESPN joins the Drake Toll Show. Jeff, thanks for being up early with us and on the program today. The World Cup final. My claim to fame was just being in the building last Wednesday for England and Argentina. And the magic of Lionel Messi became the story. But it was obvious that, man, against the right team, a tactical team, will Argentina hold up? And they faced the juggernaut of all juggernaut this tournament and Spain. Just how good, can you conceptualize just how good Spain was on this run?
Absolutely. I mean, you've heard of death by 1,000 cuts. This was Spain inflicting death by 1,000 passes on Argentina, and they managed to render Lionel Messi a complete bystander. Argentina, never mind a shot on goal, they did not get a single shot until the 117th minute. And, Spain obviously had some problems with their finishing. They were hitting a lot of shots right at Emi Martinez, but ultimately the best team won. I think it was really utter domination by Spain just in terms of possessing the ball. And, that was a tactic that proved incredibly effective and really did, like I mentioned, neutralize Lionel Messi.
Jeff Carlisle, ESPN, joins the Drake Toll Show. Jeff, NBA fans, I talk about this a lot. No one hates the NBA more than NBA fans. There's just this constant complaining about the league and fix this, change this. Yesterday, I'm seeing these, the people on Twitter, the court of public opinion saying, can't believe for such a great World Cup, we get 1-0 in the final. To me, it's not the outcome. It's how we get there. That's electric. For a budding North American soccer, really United States soccer community, was this captivating or boring?
Oh, the tournament as a whole was captivating. I mean, you had some great stories, with Cape Verde, with Democratic Republic of Congo. I mean, just the results that they were able to get. So you saw some teams that people had never really thought of before, get some great results. You saw the stars come out, whether it was Kylian Mbappe or Lionel Messi or Erling Haaland. Those guys showed up in a big way and really drove their teams forward. And then the U.S. team, some great moments during the group stage. Obviously, the result against Belgium was hugely disappointing. But, I think, for a moment there, that the U.S. team gave their fans some real hope that something special can be achieved. And so, they'll have to try again, in the next cycle. But, I think, over the course of the whole tournament, the fans and the players really delivered. And I think, it's those moments, those images that really make the tournament memorable.
That the cap of that, the cherry on top, that 1-0 finish, and in comparison almost to a 6-4 situational 10-goal game for third place, where neither team is going to play to tear an ACL. But then you get this finals match on Sunday. That specific 120 minutes, was that enough to carry this United States crowd that's learning soccer slowly but surely, or was the cherry not sweet enough?
I think the U.S. fan will realize that there's a lot of different ways to win a soccer game. It's not always about just getting, tons of goals. I mean, yeah, I think people were spoiled a little bit by that third place game, even though it's kind of like the NFL Pro Bowl. I mean, like you said, no one wants to get hurt. But, I think what they saw in Spain was just an incredible style and an incredible approach to winning the game. And that's possessing the ball. It's being patient and being surgical at the right time. And so, certainly I think they hit the atom ball, at Emi Martinez a little bit. A lot of shots were right at him. But, eventually you just kind of knew that Spain's quality was going to wear Argentina down. And that's exactly what happened. And they just, again, it was almost like the best defense was a good offense in this case. And, they managed to neutralize still what I think is the greatest player of all time in Lionel Messi. And, they're deserved champions, in my opinion.
It's a great segue. Jeff Carlisle, ESPN, joins the Drake Toll Show on Westwood One Sports into Lionel Messi and the greatest of all time. There's really no dispute of that. And it seems clear this is his final international tournament. In your eyes, is that the case? And is he undisputed as the GOAT?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there's really no disputing that. I mean, you look at the trophies he's won. He was already in the running when you just consider what he'd done at club level, with Barcelona, 10 La Liga titles, 4 Champions League titles. And then, certainly, for a long time, there was a gap in his resume at international level. And, he lost consecutive Copa America finals with Argentina, and he even retired from the national team for a brief spell. And you wondered if it was ever going to happen to him, and, happen for him, I should say. And then starting in 2021, Argentina wins Copa America. They finally get that breakthrough. And then it just kind of flowed from there. And, Messi has done it all, and he's still doing it. It's incredible that at age 39, he still operated at such a high level in this tournament. I mean, the magic that he produced against England in that semifinal was just amazing. I think he did run out of gas a little bit, but I mean, like I said, the guy's 39, and at that point he needed some of his teammates to kind of carry the load for him a little bit. So, but yeah, I don't think there's any disputing it. I mean, yes, Cristiano Ronaldo has his fans. Pele won 3 World Cups. But I think when you look at the totality of Messi's career, you've got to say that, he is the greatest player of all time, and there's really no disputing it.
When Messi walks off the pitch, and likely did for the final time in international play, what kind of gap is there now? What did the soccer community internationally just lose?
I mean, they lose an icon, but, I think that happens in sport, all the time. I mean, there are transcendent players that come along, and, they're tough to fill, but there's always going to be another stellar player that comes along. I mean, Kylian Mbappe, I think, is ready to kind of take on that mantle. Lamine Yamal, I mean, he's a world champion at 19 years of age. Yeah. I mean, he's got his whole career in front of him. So, I mean, there's still so much for him to achieve. So I think that there'll be new names, there'll be new personalities that will come up and really inspire fans and keep them coming back for more. But, certainly people are going to have great memories of Lionel Messi. Just the goals that he scored, the titles that he won. I think that, the way he carried himself, just kind of a very humble kind of personality. I think that endeared him to a lot of fans. And so, they're not going to forget Lionel Messi anytime soon, but there are going to be some new names that come forward for sure.
ESPN's Jeff Carlisle with us. Jeff, again, thanks for being up early. Last couple things I got for you. The tournament on U.S. soil, having the World Cup in North America, was this infrastructurally, was this a success?
I still think that's still to be determined. Every time the World Cup comes around, the game gets a jolt in the United States, whether it's a men's World Cup or a women's World Cup. More people get exposed to the game. They decide that they want to get into it a little bit more. Whether that's getting up and watching the Premier League on a Saturday morning or checking out their local side, whether it's in in MLS or the NWSL.
Yeah.
I think the game always gets a jolt, but it's going to be really imperative on those two leagues, MLS, NWSL, as well as the U.S. Soccer Federation, to really try to maximize the impact of this World Cup. I mean, the USSF is doing some things to try to make that happen. They're trying to expand access to the game. And I think that's really been missing, from the sport is, being able to make sure that anybody can play. And it's not just, people who can pay, $5,000 a year for travel soccer. I think that's going to be a real challenge, and it's still an immense undertaking, and it's going to take a lot of time and a lot of money. But, I think the foundation is definitely there. It's just upon the powers that be to execute and really try to make sure that they're reaching as many fans as possible and trying to inspire them in any way that they can.
Well, Jeff, we'll let you go with this then. If we've got Steve in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, who's he finally said, you know what, I'll give it a try, and he's falling in love with the game slowly but surely. Where to next? If this was the gateway drug, how do Americans ingest soccer at the best level moving forward to make this a mainstay?
I mean, I think they try to consume it on television. I think they try to support their local teams if there's one nearby. The game on television, I mean, it's everywhere. I mean, you've got the Premier League on Saturday morning, and you've got the Bundesliga here. You've got Italian Serie A here, so that you can see American players like Weston McKennie and Christian Pulisic. So, it's really just kind of investing the time to consume the sport, to become a fan, to really get into the nitty-gritty details of following a team. And then, if they're so inclined, lacing up the cleats and joining a kickabout on a Saturday or Sunday morning. I mean, it's all of those things. It's what makes people fans for life. And it's really just trying to make those connections. And, there's a lot of great things about the sport. I mean, certainly this World Cup raised some of the uglier sides of things, thinking about the Folarin Balogun situation. But the game does inspire a lot of people, and it's played the world over. And I mean, you could go to any country in the world and probably find a game. So it's making those connections and trying to become a fan, not only as a spectator, but even as a participant.
Jeff, what's the best way to follow you in your coverage of the game?
You can follow me on ESPN.com, and I'm on Blue Sky at Jeffrey Carlisle, same on Twitter. And so I'd say those are the best places to find me.
Jeff, thanks so much again for your time early this morning. Incredible perspective.
All right. Thank you very much.
I love that. I love strap it on. Like, hey, just look, throw on a shin guard, get some cleats, just go. If you gateway drugged yourself in the soccer realm with this FIFA World Cup, then your next step is go find a match on Saturday and play in your local adult league. Ball knowledge from Jeff Carlisle. You could feel it grow. I mean, for me, I opened this World Cup not really knowing, not really caring. All right, there's Ronaldo, and there's Neymar, and there's Messi, and there's Haaland, and there's Mbappe. And you can name the players. You can name the stars, the guys on the cover of Sports Illustrated, the guys in the Wheaties box. But I wasn't well-versed in the whole thing. I didn't expect to be glued to the TV over the course of 2 months. And then I was. And it wasn't just the United States that put me on. Going to a match 4 weeks ago between Germany and Paraguay, opening up the knockout stage, where Paraguay pulled off one of the great upsets in World Cup history. Top 15 upset in World Cup history. Paraguay over Germany in the round of 32. And I was in. Did it in penalty kicks, no less. I was hooked. Then last week, going and seeing Argentina, the idea that Argentina and England went to war in 1982 over the Falklands, or Las Malvinas, as you'd call it if you're from Argentina, over this group of islands 8,000 miles away from England, 300 miles away from Argentina, that the British claim. They fly their flag. Argentina says, nope, we want these. They go to war over the Falklands. 1,000 people die. Ships are sinking. Submarines are sinking. And then the way you settle this for decades to come is on the soccer field. The Argentines chanting through the British anthem. I couldn't, God save whoever, I wouldn't know. Couldn't hear a word of it because of how personal people take this tournament. It put a Saturday in the SEC to shame, which is wild. I grew up in the SEC. I grew up on Saturday college football in the Southeastern Conference. And the World Cup, that atmosphere, put it to shame. Now, the Olympics, I expect the exact same when Los Angeles hosts the Olympics. After North America, after the United States did such a bang-up job hosting the FIFA World Cup, can only hope to do the same for the Olympics, and it continues to grow sports like this, games like this. Now, will the United States catch on? Probably not for a while. Will you be able to root for the USA as your favorite contender? Nope, because they're not a contender. But it opens the door for people to care more, for people to be interested more in the sport of soccer, so that every 4 years, we don't have to just complain about how stupid it is and how much we want the U.S. to be good, and the U.S. will never be good, but instead we can watch it through the lens of, what if this is actually pretty damn cool? And it is. When we come back, where is LeBron James going? He's no longer an LA Laker. And let's recap yesterday's 1-0 win for Spain over Argentina and Lionel Messi, who is done. Sponsored by Progressive Commercial Insurance, protecting small businesses with affordable coverage options. Quote today at progressivecommercial.com. This is Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. This is the Drake Toll Show.
MLB is heating up. Time to find out who's for real and who will shape their lineup to be October contenders. Trade deadline is less than 2 weeks away. Westwood One Sports.
Oh, Lexington's a city, but it ain't so big. It freaks me out. And if I need a breather, I can hit the Parkway. Be home before the bars all close. Take away the lies she told. Think about the days. She was a pure-eyed child, a rodeo queen, high school lover, and a badass Jeep. Far from the eyes of a watchful town. Mama didn't need to know. Good corn liquor to shake this cold, and good heart loving on a gravel road, Juliet. Won't you crawl outside your window and dance in the arms of your redneck Romeo? Push cake down to shove, I'd be a fan for her love. Shoot sharp and walk away. She was good before she changed her name, and I bet that ain't all that's changed. Goddamn, I remember the night. I was a young punk kid from a dried up town, Cold Car County, full of hunting hounds. She was the one who kept those boys at bay. Her high heels and my red wing boots, cutting couches in the living room, Juliet. Won't you crawl outside your window and dance in the arms of your redneck Romeo?
Broadcast will begin in 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
all this boozing. By God, I can keep it together. Just to hold my baby close, get her moving down a county road. Make up for lost time. She was a few-eyed child of a rodeo queen. She ran on sex and gasoline. Far more money than a boy like me could hold. She went off to paint the town, and I'm stuck holding these mountains down, Juliet.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute.
Won't you crawl outside your window and dance in the arms of your redneck Romeo? Won't you crawl outside your window and dance in the arms of your redneck Romeo?
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
But it ain't so big, it freaks me out. And if I need a breather, I can hit the parkway. Be home before the bars all close. Drink away the lies she told. Think about the days. She was a few-eyed child, a rodeo queen, high school lover in a badass Jeep. Far from the eyes of a watchful town, Mama didn't need to know. Good corn liquor, shake this cold, good heart loving on the ground.
I got a sweet little baddie and she's rolling in the caddy with me.
It is Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Listen live on SiriusXM 375, the Westwood One Sports app, and it is the Drake Toll Show. You can listen live with the Drake Toll Show YouTube channel. Drake Toll with you from the Savannah Bananas organization and Locked On Big 12. And it is Monday, July 20th, and we still have no idea where the hell LeBron James is going to go. No one knows. At this point, I don't know if LeBron James knows. But I can tell you this. The fact that he's not going back for the Los Angeles Lakers and the legacy word is a confusing one with him. We're all kind of wondering, okay, how will we view LeBron James in 12 years? Because, again, there's a kid out there. There's a 12-year-old kid who's thinking, LeBron James, the L.A. Laker? He's only ever known LeBron, the Laker. LeBron's been there 8 years, but since the kid can remember really watching basketball at the age of 4, he's had a LeBron James Lakers jersey, and that's who LeBron James, the L.A. Laker. That's weird for the rest of us. We don't really view it like that. I don't view LeBron as a Laker. He wasn't a career Laker. I don't view how we're going to look at him in 20 years as the L.A. Laker. We may just view him for what he does in this last go-round, this last season. And if he goes to Golden State and wins a title at Golden State, that is the ultimate way to cap off a career. His legacy is already going to be funky. It's already going to be weird. We don't know who LeBron James plays for. We don't know who LeBron James belongs to. Will his jersey go up in the rafters of multiple organizations? Yes. No doubt. But it's still confusing to try to piece together who LeBron James is in the grand scheme of the NBA other than one of the greatest of all time, whose legacy is its own distinct thing. And the question of how you top that off, how you finish it, that's one LeBron James is answering now. That's what matters at this point. LeBron James winning in his final year. LeBron James excelling in his final year in the NBA and proving, I'm the greatest to ever do it. What can he do to surpass Jordan? What can he do to change the mind of those who still believe Michael Jordan is the GOAT? The biggest, the biggest answer to that, the most effective answer to that, is win a title and do it in a place like Golden State that's not supposed to win a title next year. If you go to Cleveland and you play second fiddle and, Donovan Mitchell, he's the one who helped us win the title. LeBron James was just here hanging out and helping out. If that's where we end up, well, I'm not sure if we talk about LeBron James as genuinely the greatest to do it above Michael Jordan. But if he goes to Golden State, takes this old ragtag group, wow, the old guys did it, and LeBron led the way, alongside Curry knocking down supplemental threes and Draymond Green punching people. That's a legacy. LeBron watch continues. The World Cup does not. It's over. Spain won. Argentina, 0. I thought the halftime show sucked. I thought the opening ceremony sucked. We need to stop Americanifying these events. I didn't care for the way that we opened the broadcast, and it's just Rebecca Lobo, whoever it's the crew just filibustering, hoping for the best. And in the middle of their filibuster, at one point, it's Rebecca Lowe said, we're just kind of stalling before we go down to the field. Timing's already all off. Then finally they do go down to the field. First thing Tom Cruise says into the microphone is, is it on? Yes, Tom, you're a pro. Don't say, is it on, into the microphone. And then closes his pep speech talk with this, Jim.
So as we gather for one final chapter, let us celebrate a tournament that brought the world together. Let us celebrate each other. This is football. This is unity. And this is greatness.
It was just really corny. And then both the buffers come out. They say the line. They did the line. And we played. Throughout Tom Cruise's speech, you could hear the Argentine fans chanting. You could hear the Spanish fans chanting. We don't care. We don't need fireworks. We don't need Shakira. We don't need a 30-minute halftime show. We don't need Tom Cruise or the buffers. We don't need Ted Lasso. We don't need any of that. Sure, to appease the American crowd at the Super Bowl, you need your lights and dances and songs. But at the World Cup, those from Argentina who were in attendance in East Rutherford, New Jersey, the last thing they needed was pomp and circumstance around this whole thing. They just wanted the game itself. But we had to be a little too American. And on Fox Sports, we have hydration breaks for some more TV commercial time. 30-minute halftime show for a performance of epic proportions. We're gonna need Tom Cruise to give a speech, otherwise we can't play a game. None of it made sense. It was kind of an embarrassing display of how TikTok brain, we need our athletics to have we need Red Panda to come out at halftime and spin the bowls. Whereas Europe, South America, they just do the game, man. I like that. I'm in. And in the end, the broadcast itself did not give you the full allure of the World Cup final. John Strong on Fox, the go-ahead goal. Here is as energetic as you could get an English broadcast.
Porro chance to cross, hooks it in. Williams battling, knocks it down. It's free. It's a goal. It's Ferran Torres.
Well, there's a reason I watched the entirety of this match in Spanish. Andres Cantor, Telemundo, the go-ahead goal from the hero, the unlikely hero, Ferran Torres.
Toque atrás, Porro la pone al área. El cabezazo atrás. Queda el rebote. ¡Gol! Ferran.
Way more electric. just exponentially cooler. And Spain knocks off Argentina 1-0 thanks to that one. Great performance, by the way, from Emiliano Martinez, the goalkeeper. 12 saves officially 12 saves for Argentina in the World Cup to even stay in this one. Spain was so frustrated. They were on shot 19, shot 20 before Argentina had a single shot. They had none in regular time. And at some point, you're just wondering, when's the dam going to break? If you're Spain, if you're dominant throughout this, when is the dam going to break? And it finally did. Off the back of a guy who FC Barcelona has been filtered out of the rotation. They tried to offload him from his contract. And now he's playing international soccer for his home country, Spain. And Ferran Torres, who's been overlooked, underrated, passed by, is the guy who nets the difference maker. And Spain wins the World Cup. Do we have a Music Monday today? Are we Music Monday?
We do.
Oh, my gosh. I didn't think we would.
Why
not?
Think we would. Of course.
I didn't know you'd do it. I didn't know if you'd do it.
Of course. And I'm gonna let you phone a friend, Stu.
Oh, okay.
If
Stu and I are doing it together. Okay, I like it. All
Tag
right.
team effort. All right.
Yes, if you need it. All right. Here
Nice.
we go. Here we go.
Music Monday. Music Monday.
Even the best fall down sometime. Even the wrong word. I was a lonely teenage Bronco buck with a pink carnation and a baby, you can find me under the lights, diamonds under my eyes. We've been on the run, driving in the sun, looking out for number one. But there was a time back in my prime when I could really live.
Okay. All right. All right. Let's hear song number 1, please.
Even the best fall down sometime. Even the wrong word.
It's like the Fray and Ray LaMontagne had a baby.
Almost. Close.
Stu, what do you got on that one?
No.
I don't.
Oh.
I've heard the song. I don't.
Come
What
on,
do you got?
Stu. It's in our era.
Laura, what do you got? Who is it?
Howie Day Collide.
Howie Day Collide. All right, song 2.
I was a lonely teenage Bronco buck with a pink carnation and a
Ooh, American Pie, Don McLean.
Okay, I was going to say, you have to get that one.
Big Don. I like Don McLean. Vincent, it's a very good song. It's a good song. Nice. Stu, would you have gotten that?
I might have gone there eventually.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah. Not good, Stu. All right,
Not
song
great.
3.
It's not a good start for me.
baby, you can find me under the lights, diamonds under my eyes.
Is it? It's Dua Lipa.
Uh-huh. It's your girl. It's your girl.
Is it called Diamonds?
No. We're celebrating an anniversary with her.
Dance the Night Away?
There you go.
All right.
Stu, you were going to get it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
All right, let's go quick. Next,
We've been on the run, driving in the sun, looking out for number one.
Linkin Park.
No. No. Stu, no. Phantom Planet, California.
Oh, all right, last one.
But there was a time back in my prime when I could really live.
Toby Keith.
Yeah.
As good as I once was.
There you go.
Bang. Boom, baby. Boom.
Sort of win.
I got half the points available, song and artist. Thanks, Laura. Great Music Monday.
You're welcome.
Surely all of our listeners knew all of the songs.
I know they
Congratulations to
did.
each of
You're
you.
the only loser who didn't.
Yeah. When we come back, it'll be tomorrow. In the meantime, though, you better, you bet. Nick Costos is coming up. Thank you to Armin Williams, Bruce Gilbert, Colin Jones, and Ryan McGuire for giving me a job. Nick Costos, you better, you bet. It's been from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. We'll do it all again tomorrow right here on The Drake Toll Show.